Oh my gosh, I am really unwell. Um, I've basically made my last stand with Ministry of Justice um, moments before, and I've ended with the dramatic but extremely grounded and real flourish at the end. It's your choice if I live or die. Because just like the Tenancy Tribunal, they're really, they're better than the Tenancy Tribunal, and at least they're actually responding and saying they don't know what I'm talking about, rather than just completely ghosting it. But yeah, I've had extremely late replies from court, and just as I'll paraphrase what I said in the email, but I've said like everyone at court, all court staff, because I'm self-rep, right, and I'm self-rep for a good reason that court can see, because my latest lawyer, and it's not my fault, I've been passed around from lawyer to lawyer, and I had to at the last minute withdraw from legal aid, and on the 19th she said we have to make a start, and it's like we can't make a start on the 19th of January when the trial's on the 12th of February. Like I had asked her to apply for an adjournment, which I couldn't apply for myself while I was under legal aid. And I've been trying to work on an adjournment application, but it's just one more fucking thing that, like another fucking massive project where I can't cope with the projects already. And so I've made my last stand with MSD, and that was previously. And I've pretty much made it with police, but that's tied up with court because a lot of it's the police harassment, and that's not independent from court whatsoever. And I've made my last stand with MSD really, and from now on my suffering is going to end as far as any of that bullshit pertains to. People can come to me and give me my rights, and that's it. If that does not happen, then well, I'm just going to do what I want to do, and what I want to do may still be caring for my home, which is something that I like doing, and I don't see it as a waste of time. And I think actually there's a really cool woman. Oh no, it's actually not. She is a really cool woman, but she's not the one I'm thinking of. But there was a woman when I was at a different place when I first arrived in Christchurch. She said that she's an active relaxer, so she gardens and that kind of thing. And I think like, oh, that's really good. Like people tell me, why don't you just rest? And it's like, or relax. And it's like, I am relaxing. And the thing is that before my fatigue disorders kicked in, that's now a different story. I think that rest is totally necessary, and rest across all quadrants. I mean, I really think, as I've said before, I really think that the only cure to this is to be very heavily sedated, because my brain is too traumatized to stop thinking. So like I can't stop thinking, but I can replace it with some activities, and it's better if I do activities that don't involve anything sort of of the academic sort of sort of intellectual sort of whatever. Like I don't want to use my brain for solving problems or reading legislation or fighting bureaucracy and what is utterly ridiculously named justice. So I did what I said I was going to do, that I was going to get rid of some of those boxes because they were not helpful boxes. But then when I went to the shop today, I found these boxes and they're so beautiful. And so that thing that I made I can't wangle it into the closet there, but I think I'm just going to build this into the closet and just have somewhere that I can put my clothes easily. And they're beautiful, and there were lots of other colours, but I already knocked over a whole stack of them. I'm trying to get to the colours, so that'll do for now. And that's just going to be my shelving, and I can just, I actually just don't want to just forget about my stuff. I actually just, as I was saying to my neighbour Terry, because she was saying, she was concerned for me at the time because, I just had stuff everywhere because I'd pulled everything out in order to sort things so she could help take me put things in storage, and that was back when I thought I might have it in me to move again, and I wanted to keep a low collection of possessions here that I could walk out with a suitcase and whatnot, but that's just not going to happen. And I'm not. It's just not. I mean, it's why would I? Yeah, I mean, obviously that's just a fucking retarded thing to do. It's the end of the line. It's here. I have to get real. So either I get my rights or I'm dying. And I'm pretty sure, because I think I've problem solved the death thing pretty well. I don't want to do it. It's but I'm not focusing on that. That's just going to be something that I will deal with when I come to it. But anyway, yeah, so when Terry came over and she saw, basically the explosion, and she was saying, oh my gosh, this is stressing you out. And I said, it really is stressing me out, it absolutely is. Because she doesn't live here, but she's often here with her daughter, who has a little kid and another little kid and stuff. And their place is Spartan, like completely Spartan. And which is normally like I am, and I think that they're the same as me, like they just they don't function in chaos, and I don't function in chaos, but I can't function enough to reduce the chaos, not with everything else going on, for a number of reasons. And she was like, let's just move things out of the way, and I was like, no, Terry, seriously, like it has to be me who does it, because I've pulled things out and put things back, just to get them out of the way so many times. Like, I have to do it properly this time or it's not going to happen. Like, and she was talking about, just because she gets a lot of what I've been through, and she's been through arguably worse, at least in one instance. And I would wonder if I would even be able to share that, since it's been in the media a little historically, where she prevailed to accept for the interference of a stupid fucking minister who wouldn't give her comp. But I know people talk about trauma in different ways, and trauma does have two meanings, and a lot of people think they have the second meaning like I've got, but trauma is not the kind of thing like Terry was like, just do the mahi and then you can relax. And I said, I cannot do the mahi, and thinking of it as mahi is actually what's paralysing me. I said, what I'm going to think of it as araha, that I'm pouring love into my home and then pouring love into myself. And she said that's a really good way of looking at it. You know, yeah, that it's not work that I have to do to make my house like I want it. It's an act. It's a loving process of restoring my home to the way I want it, which is an act of loving myself. And so I think that's what I'm going to do. And it's not an investment probably in the future. I mean, I still hold out hope that that's not the case, but that's what I'm going to do. And then, interestingly and coincidentally, well, it wasn't really that coincidentally, I suppose, but it's sort of serendipitous, I suppose. One of my videos, and I don't know if it's one I've uploaded or not, it was when I was coming back and I saw on Cannon Street there was a poster for a cat, missing cat, and there were 3 phone numbers on it, and anyway, I won't go in the ins and outs. I'm absolutely exhausted again. I mean, I'm really just, you know, what I've done today has, you know, it really is, like, I'm not making claims outside of my frame of reference. A lot of people, and I'm talking about fucking government officials and so forth, you know, they don't seem to realise that I know what I'm fucking talking about when I've got fatigue and trauma, because they don't have fatigue and trauma. They just know what it's like to occasionally be really upset, even devastated for a period of time, and be really exhausted. And like me, they know how it feels to have, you know, worked, say, 12 hours at work non-stop without a break, and then just come out almost feeling like you're on a different planet and really, really, really tired, and then maybe burning the candle at both ends for a few days to get a project done. And of course that happens at university as well. I mean, I think anyone who's ever done a job, a demanding job, or a job that's been demanding at some point, or has had to move house, or who's had, you know, who's been on study leave. I mean, I think everyone knows that feeling of being totally rinsed out. But what people just don't seem to understand is that I'm like that every day. I am rinsed out every day. I can't push through it. Pushing through it is totally, totally not what the doctor ordered. And I was saying to Terry yesterday, I'm not fighting anymore, and you know, she's a really good woman, but like so many people who are not responsible for not knowing this, but they don't have that frame of reference that I have, but I have their frame of reference. But I've graduated into this really horrible level where I'm really sick now. I wasn't born sick. I've become really, really, really sick. And I can't fight anymore. And I just said, look, I can't fight the government. And she said, yes, you can. And I said, what I mean is, I can't do it alone anymore. And I've been fighting for 2 years and I'm done. Like, it's time to stop. Of course you can fight the government, but you may not fucking get anywhere. And you certainly can come out much the worse for wear because of it, and you certainly can't do it as an individual. And she says, oh, you know, me and her daughter are here for you. And I'm like, I know you are morally, but you're not. You are so bogged down with your own stuff. Like, you are not by my side. Like, you're by my side and empathy, but that's not the support that I need. And I'm done. I'm not fighting anymore. But I when I went for that walk yesterday, and I uploaded it to maybe another account because I wanted a sort of a private-ish, but not private, because I didn't have an email address, just to text the one of the numbers on the missing cat posters, because I saw this cat that I had thought was Tommy briefly, and then found out it was not Tommy. And then I thought, maybe it's that cat, because I had previously uploaded a video, or maybe I didn't upload it, where I saw that poster and went, poor people, and I'll look out for him. And so I thought it might have been the cat, and I got in touch. Anyway, I've had a lot of interaction with 2 women behind 2 of the numbers, and basically I think that, so the cat mum has moved to the North Island, and the remaining women, I thought were family members, but they're not actually. I think they've just been trying to support, but they're also quite burned out, and they've got their own health issues and that kind of thing, and I don't know how long this has been going on for, but I think they've burnt out, and they've both been the epitome of graciousness and responded appropriately to my offers of assistance. And I've taken, I've made a couple of recommendations respectfully, which have been taken up, and I've grabbed a bunch of reprints of flyers that I'm going to put around, and I've created an email address specifically for for people to email. One, because it's easier to memorize than a phone number if you don't have a way of recording. If you're out for a walk, not all people take their phone with them, and also it just stops, because I don't know how long they've been looking, but I understand they've received a lot of phone calls, and you just don't want to receive a hell of a lot of phone calls about a missing cat when it's not the cat, and the parent, the mum, the cat mum is really, really devastated. So I've done my best to take a burden off. I've picked up one of the ones today, has just had a disaster with her own fur baby, because she feels it very deeply for her friend has become unwell, and she's completely freaking out. So I met her and picked up some flyers to put around, and I'm going to do that. And I'm, even though the flyers have already been printed, I've had approval to add the email address and to just sort of tweak the phone numbers to de-emphasise the ones of the women who really can't keep this up. And that took a lot of energy today as well. And it's going to take a lot of energy, because I've got to go through and, kind of hand copy email addresses and strike out some phone numbers and stuff. And then I'm going to go around and just do another run. I think some of them are letterbox flyers, and I think some of them are posters. And probably tomorrow I'll go and ask in the village and just say, look, can I put these up in your windows? Because I've said, look, I've had a little bit brush with marketing because of my, minor graphic design and technical writing qualifications and stuff, and people lose memory really easily. And I said, like the marketing, when people market things this isn't marketing, this is advertising. When people put information on the back of bathroom stalls, that's perfect. It's a perfect place. It kind of seems gross, but it's somewhere where you've got a captive audience. And anywhere someone's just sitting or standing around with nothing else, they're going to read whatever's there. And I'm thinking outside the fish and chip shop, or whatever, just somewhere like at the bus stop or something where people can really, like you just, people talk about going, it's the younger generation. I mean, I can't imagine going to the toilet with my phone, but you get these memes from, I guess, young millennials and Zoomers, how they, these memes where they take it as read that everybody goes to the toilet with their phone. Ugh. and they have these jokes about reading the shampoo bottle and memorizing all the ingredients, and it's like that's exactly the principle. You grab someone when they've got nothing else to look at. So I'm going to try and do a bit of that. And to me, this is the kind of thing that my efforts can do some good. To be honest, I don't know if the cat will be found, so I don't know if it will do anything good in the sense of the goal of finding the cat. But the two women I've been interacting with who are here in Christchurch while the mother is, the cat mum is up north and hasn't responded to me so far, and I understand it's because she's unable to respond while she's at work. These two women are going through their own health problems, and I've said, look, I've got health problems too, but I'm local, and I've said it's something that I'm quite passionate about with animals, and I really care and stuff, and it just seems like a better use of my time than pushing shit uphill with a system that doesn't care. But yeah, I'm like, I really don't like lying on my bed to work. It's not the mindset that I want to be in, but I don't. I'm on a trajectory to being bedridden, and that's what happens with chronic fatigue syndrome, and that's why I tend to think that probably that's definitely barking up the right tree. I'm gonna collapse, and I would rather I don't want to collapse wasting my time with scoundrels, So yeah.